What's up, guys? Welcome back to CC, also known as the Content Corner, not to be confused with Capsule Corp. My name is Herb,
My name's Lens.
and today we're going back to DC. And I don't mean Washington, DC. No, because that ain't my city.
It's
As I've
not
said
his city.
before, it's not my city. Black Tusk can have it. I don't care. Nah, we talking about DC Comics. This is Lens is a big fan of DC Comics.
I'm a
I'm
big fan.
I'm a more of a Marvel guy, but I do love some of DC, specifically like Flash, because he's great. Who
He's
doesn't
great.
love the Flash?
Yo, the Flash is the best. The Flash is the best hero that DC got, in my opinion.
Yo, even his villains like him.
Word. That's how you know you're brolic. When your villains are like, I kind of like that dude.
they're like, I don't hate him because he's an asshole or anything. He's actually a really dope guy, and I'd hang out with him if I wasn't trying to rob stuff and he kept trying to stop me. That's the
If I
only reason we're not
wasn't
hanging out.
evil,
It's the only reason we're not hanging out. It's because I want to rob stuff and he always stops me. It's the only reason we're not friends right now. But no, we're not talking about Flash today. We're talking about a DC Universe original, right?
original, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what you would call it because it's like Netflix original, but it's like DC Universe original is kind of like a mouthful.
is, but it's what it is though.
I know it's a lot. It's like
Either way,
Netflix original. There's only 2 syllables before original. DC Universe original. That's 5 syllables before original. Like that's a lot. It's a mouthful. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of sidetracked here. We're talking about Harley Quinn.
yes,
Harley
we
Quinn.
are.
Now that the show's over, Lens finished it way back when it finished.
Not the
I
not the movie,
No,
the
not the
show.
movie. The show. Want to make that clear. Uh, Lens finished it a while back. I just finished it last night because I was taking my sweet ass time. I'm not denying this.
Lazy.
Listen. I had stuff I had to rewatch.
Oh yeah, Seinfeld for the 43rd time.
Actually, it wasn't a 43rd. So specific episodes would be that high, but the whole series, no. It's funny enough. Actually, as I was rewatching it, I realized I haven't watched every episode.
Really?
Yeah, like because I was always watch it on cable when it was on, and then I was like, all right, cool, I'll watch Seinfeld, but like I never sat down and watched the entire series. So then I'm just like, oh shit, I don't remember this. All right, cool.
Watching new episodes for the first time. What a joy.
Show's so old, and I'm watching it now. Oh man, but yeah, no. So yeah, so we finished it last night, and I want to start off by saying I love the show. I think the show's
It's
great.
so good. It is so funny, man.
Yo, it has me rolling so many times. Kite Man is amazing. I don't care what anyone says. Kite Man's amazing.
He's the realist.
And I think the craziest part about Kite Man is that when I looked him up, I was like, what does he even do?
Who
Like
the hell is Kite Man?
yeah, that was the first thing I asked myself. So I looked him up. Turns out the show actually nerfed him. Like
Yeah, yeah.
he's pretty brolic actually in the comics.
He starts off not brolic,
He does sort of
but
not brolic. He sort of has like a gag, but he becomes like what is it? Not
threat.
an actual threat. Like I'm trying to think. They actually compare him to somebody. I don't think it was Slade Wilson because that'd be
No, they
stupid.
compared him
Bro.
to Batman.
It was to Batman. Yes, you're
They
right.
compared him to Batman. Yeah.
And I was just like, what do you mean he's comparable to Bat? What do you mean? It's like he's just that good. Like he's honestly that good, but with kites.
Smart. He's physical. Like, he can fuck people up. It's wild.
But with kites. But
But
with
with
kites.
kites. Because that's his thing.
It's like
Anyway, like, okay. The first season, I think, it was quite enjoyable, right?
yeah.
But like nowhere near the second season. That second
Oh
season,
man.
like, it blew me
Oh
away.
bro. I will say like King Shark is always a high note for me in this show.
Yo, these characters, yo, King Shark, Clayface, uh, Doctor Psycho is a jerk, but he's a funny jerk.
And also, he's literally written to be a jerk, so like he's doing his job.
He's doing his job pretty well too.
Yeah.
And Ivy, Ivy's
Oh,
Bay.
I love Ivy. I
Oh,
fucking love her.
she's the realest.
Mm.
Oh God.
It's like she's literally. I was just like, all right, Harley, shut up, stop doing. No, Harley, you're going off track, Harley. And then she's just doing the same thing. She's like, Harley, no, that's not the answer. Here's the answer. But what if no? No, what if this?
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Okay, so what surprised me about the show, like when I first started it, was how violent it was.
yeah,
I did not know. I was like, okay, it's a show, it's a cartoon, it's Harley Quinn, whatever. It's gonna be,
yeah, it's
I
fun.
don't know, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Violent as hell. Oh
murder,
my
murder, murder, murder,
goodness.
murder, murder.
Murder, 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 murder. Like people were dying left and right. I was like, what is happening? This is so savage.
Yo, like, oh man. So this season, one of the most savage moments that wasn't even meant to be savage was just King Shark's most humiliating memory.
Which
I,
one was that?
when he ate his brother.
Oh yeah.
Like he was picking on him, and his dad's like, "Yo, stop picking on your brother." But then his brother had a bloody nose, and he's just like, "Blood!" and just started eating his brother. And his dad's like, "No, what are you doing?"
Oh, like in the first season, I love how King Shark was like, I get queasy around blood, or he's like, I have a
Uh,
problem around blood,
yeah, he says he has a problem around blood,
and we
and
were like,
then
oh, he doesn't like the sight or smell of blood. Okay, whatever. And then you just see him go absolutely nuts, like in a murderous rage at like the
Right.
slightest hint of blood.
And then like Dr. Psycho and Clayface were just like, "Oh, that's what he meant. I thought he was gonna be queasy." Yeah, it was very misleading the way he said it.
Yo, can we talk about how the show like perfectly toes the line between comedy and drama?
Yes. Yes.
Because they are really, really good at it. Like things are hilarious, and then in a moment's notice, like without a moment's notice, it will just be dramatic as hell. Like, remember the Doctor Freeze episode?
Bro, well, Mr. Freeze is always like
Mr. Freeze.
he's just
Sorry.
Mr. Freeze. Like
Yeah.
he's always just you know what I mean?
He always is dramatic. Like it's the story, like the way it is. But like he you walked in, they were like, "Oh, we have to take over his like section of the city in order to rule Gotham." They go in, guns ablazing. He traps all of them, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm gonna use you for my experiments because I want to save my wife, but I'm gonna treat you nice. You guys want some dinner?" And then he sits him down at a table for a really nice dinner. Like,
Yo, and it was actually a like super nice dinner. I was like, "Yo."
yeah, it's like really nice decor. He's like trying to engage in like really interesting conversation. I was like, this guy.
It's like Harley as a fellow doctor. I was like, "Yo, people forget that that both Poison Ivy and Harley are actually doctors. Like,
Oh, bro, out of the out of like Batman's like rogue gallery, there are so many people are experts and doctors and just geniuses left and right. It's wild.
like Poison Ivy's a genius in the what do you call it? And just plant biology. An
Yeah.
absolute genius in plant biology. Harley is a genius psychotherapist, actually, psychologist. Like super, super smart with that. And then Mr. Freeze, just cutting edge technology in terms of like just
Biotechnology.
biotechnology, just cutting edge. Because, bro, who else would have been able to be like, oh, my wife is dying. I'm going to freeze her, but still in a way so that she's alive. But that's just time essentially stops for her body.
That's crazy. Like we can't do that today.
No, right now, if we freeze, that's it. You're dead.
You're dead. It's a wrap.
There's none of this whole, oh, we're gonna freeze you and then wake you up in 20 years. In 20 years, they're gonna have a meat sickle that they can eat. Like,
Sickle.
it's just, it's wild. It's wild. But
Yeah, that
um,
episode.
that was good.
It's like it was funny, and then
It got
Harley.
dramatic.
It got dramatic out of nowhere because Harley accidentally unfroze Mr. Freeze's wife.
I will say though that when it comes to hilarities, it goes all in with the jokes. Like, bro, remember just Bane in general.
Oh
I
my
have got the
god.
reckoning. I will destroy Mark from the coffee shop. He misspelled my name.
Oh, Bane is a treasure, man. Bane is so good. Like he was being disrespected by all of the other villains, like the entire league. And I was like, come on, Bane doesn't deserve that. Even after he broke the bat
Again.
again, he broke the bat again, and people are still trying to disrespect him.
Like, yo, bro, Batman came at him with that new suit. He's like, we are Two-Face. I knew people wouldn't get the sign. Ah!
Oh my goodness.
Yo, bro, he broke Batman's legs so bad they were just spaghetti.
Both legs. Bro,
Both
both of his
legs.
legs. He couldn't do anything for a while. He
Nah.
was out of commission.
Yo, and Alfred comes through.
Oh, what was his superhero name? I forgot.
The gentleman or something? I don't
No,
remember.
no, no, no. It was something ridiculous. Something like
Bro,
part of a nursery rhyme or something. Oh, it's gonna bother me.
it's gonna bother me so much. Fuck. I don't know. Damn it.
We'll get back to it if we can
We'll
remember.
if we can remember, yeah, it's just uh. But yeah, bro, it's just like, oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
So how did you feel about that season ender?
Oh, I think I found his name.
What?
The macaroni. That's what it says as his other aliases on the Harley Quinn wiki. He's just alias the macaroni.
Because it's part of that freaking rhyme.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous.
uh, but yeah. So, um, the ending. Okay, I have some issues with the ending. Not okay. So the ending overall is good. I'm not gonna say it's a bad ending. I don't. Also, I'm not against how it ended. Fair. I'm just personally tight because my man Kite Man got the short end of the stick. Like he's worked so hard all series,
He
and,
really did.
and like, bro, how many times has he come through for these two?
A
And like,
lot, a lot.
and he gets nothing.
What I'll say is that I'm not a fan. I like how it ended, but I'm not a fan of how they handled Kite Man's character approaching the end because there is a distinct change in the way they handled him. So, first season, he was working hard. He was trying real hard. He was hitting on Ivy. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Which I
that
will say
fratty
though,
type guy.
that if I were him, I probably would have already given up after the first maybe one or two asks because this man kept asking.
He
Like
kept
he kept
trying.
trying,
He
and
kept trying.
I I respect that, but at the same time, I feel like you should know when no is no. You know what I mean?
True. Yo, one thing I love his first line. He
What
just
was it again?
appeared out of nowhere, right? So Ivy's talking to Harley,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Don't leave me alone at this party because there's some like D-listers gonna try to hit on me." And then
Oh
she just, and you're gone, and you're gone. And then from behind, just he just whispered, "Did someone say Kite Man? Oh, that's me. Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah. it's so good.
Oh,
It's so good.
that was that was original. If nothing else, that was original.
Kite
Oh.
Man.
It's like,
uh,
oh my god. But yeah,
yo, I like. I mean, it's corny as fuck, but I would have at least heard him out for like 5 seconds and be like, you know what, that was original. You get like 5 seconds of my time.
word. But he started out as this, fratty type dude, which he immediately like flubbed the first encounter because he was reading signs that weren't there,
Yeah,
and I was just like, damn, he's just one of those guys. He's just one of those assholes. But his character developed a little bit, you know. He kept
yeah,
interacting with Ivy, and he changed, and because of that, Ivy changed. You know, like they affected each other in a positive manner,
they
and their
did.
relationship like grew, and it was good. It was a solid relationship. They were enjoying each other's company. Ivy was getting, I guess, she was getting comfortable with where she was,
Yeah,
which can be a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good
yeah,
thing to feel comfortable and to feel happy, but I can also understand being uncomfortable at the fact that you're stagnant, which is, I think, part of like the reason. Like it's part of the decision that she made.
yeah,
But towards the end, they kind of changed Kite Man's character a little bit, where he was kind of obsessing over the opinions of his parents. He was more concerned about the wedding than like Ivy. I mean, like he still cared about Ivy's feelings and like
yeah.
the way
Just
things
like
were
he was
happening.
like when it came to like his wedding, he obsessed so much over it had to be at the corn factory. It needed to be at the corn factory.
Yeah,
It
it's kind of like if you're really marrying the person that you love, like it doesn't matter where you're marrying them. The fact it's just the fact that you are marrying them, and like
but
that's
Lens,
how
it's
he
so
was.
2014 Pinterest.
It really is. Uh, but that because that was kind of like his attitude earlier. It was kind of like the fact that she said yes, the fact that like he's in this relationship, the fact that they're together is all that he needed, and that's what
Yeah,
was making him happy. But then they started to change his character a little bit, and I think they did that to make us okay with the fact that that relationship was going to end, and okay with the fact that like Ivy was cheating on
yeah.
him. I don't like that. I mean, like, I okay. I
I mean,
feel
like to
like,
be fair, he had the proper reaction when he found out that Ivy cheated on him.
oh yeah, he did have the proper reaction, but like it kind of eases the betrayal in our minds, not Kite Man's mind, but in our minds, right?
Yeah,
So
because
for
like,
us,
oh,
it's
he's
kind of
kind of
like,
being more of a jerk or something like that, you know.
yeah,
So
he's like, oh, he's not being attentive or this and that. He's being a bad partner. You know, I'm going to excuse this cheating,
yeah,
or maybe not excuse it, but I can understand where she's coming from, which
yeah,
I think wasn't necessary to the plot. It wasn't necessary for like the way things were moving, because at the end of the day, you know, they ended up not getting married,
yeah,
and Catman was like, I'm going to say, like, even at the very end, I was just like, I'm still like willing to do this if you are, and he's just like, but you're not willing to do this, and I'm not gonna let you lie to me.
yeah.
L-
And then he's also
Let
like,
let let
and you're
you
right,
can lie to
I deserve the
yourself,
best.
but
Yeah,
like I'm not
don't
gonna
lie
let
to
you
me.
lie to me. Yeah,
Yeah, and even he was just like, and you're right, I do deserve the best. And then he just like kite man out.
word. Um, but his actions, like earlier, like season one, Kaiman, I'd agree with that statement. He deserves the best because he tries
Yeah,
hard,
he
and
does.
like he's grown as a person. And you know what? The best for Ivy at that time was Kaiman.
Yeah,
But they started to like change his character, where I can't agree with that statement by the end. It's like I deserve the best. I'm like, you deserve better than this. I'll say you deserve better than what you're getting.
yeah.
Um,
You deserve a stick, not just the short end of the stick.
yeah, exactly. Like, like I feel like. if he didn't change, right, then the decision for Ivy would have been a little more, a little harder to make.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the only reason at the end where when like she was doubting everything, the only
Mhm.
reason she didn't just didn't like leave to be with Harley was because of Harley's actions and the way that Harley was. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like at that point it was kind of like, well, I can't have her. I have to settle for Kiteman, which wasn't the case. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't the case beforehand. It was kind of like she viewed people as like she had a problem with people in general. She
Yeah.
did not like them. Um,
Just putting it mildly.
yeah. So it's kind of like she felt like people didn't deserve her. Then her mentality kind of changed when she became comfortable in this relationship, and then like the whole thing with Harley happened, where she felt like she didn't deserve what she had or this happiness that she had.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm gonna marry him, I'm gonna settle, and like take this opportunity because I don't know if this can happen again. And even if it can, if I try it with Harley, she destroys everything that she's in, you know. So that's not safe, and I'm not trying to get hurt again. Okay, fair, but like you can see that distinct difference in like her mentality.
It's true. It was a big change because they basically, like you said, they basically made her genuinely happy to be with Kite Man and Kite Man with her, vice versa. And it was literally just they're happy with each other. That was it. And then it just things changed. Some organic, some I felt were like a little forced. You know, so it's it kind of feels like, at least to me, it kind of felt like they ended the season with Harley and Ivy getting together because that's how it kind of is in the comics. They're always on and off in the comics.
Yeah, that was always the plan,
Yeah.
right? Like that was always where it was gonna head. Um, and I'm fine with that, and I actually enjoy their relationship.
Hmm.
Um,
I
I
do. No, I
mean,
really do. Like in the comics, I love that because it's actually a healthy relationship between the two of them.
word. I even like the drama that happened in the show, like between them.
Yeah.
Like it was just the way that they changed Kite Man to kind of relieve the guilt a little bit for us, the crowd. Like I feel like they only did it for the audience.
Hmm.
Um, when I feel like the betrayal could have been a lot more, I guess, visceral if Kite Man didn't change and stayed the same person he was.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would speak more towards Ivy trying to find her happiness rather than she's being pushed out of this relationship because of his behavior. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I feel like it would have been a little more genuine.
I mean,
That's like my take on it.
yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you. Um, how to put it? Like overall, I still love the show. I still think it's great. I'm actually looking forward to a third season.
Oh, absolutely. I'm super hyped.
Um, and like I'm just, oh, like the good is always to me. It heavily outweighs anything that I haven't liked about the show. um, I'm still wondering what we're gonna do with Psy now that he's a mixer.
Who?
Psy, the old man,
Oh yeah.
he's a mixer now, like literally a cake mixer.
He I I'm so confused with what they're doing with him, man. Like
Listen, he was made using cutting edge technology. All right, like because they wanted to make sure those damn commies couldn't brainwash him and bring him over.
he's a ridiculous character. I really didn't think that he was gonna like. be as important of a plot point as he was, because in the first season he was just like the landlord, and
Yeah, yeah,
then he
just a
became part of
weird
the crew.
landlord. Yeah, he was just a weird old man landlord in a wheelchair who had like some robotic limbs, and it's like, why do you have robotic limbs? Who are you?
Like, what? And then he just grew into like one of the crew, and then all of a sudden he became like really important. I was like, all right, man, like
Oh god,
you do you.
it felt painful though watching it. It's like, oh, back in like the in the Secret Service or whatever, we had a what do you say? Like we had a secret project to be able to give a person the ability to transform into a car, and I'm like, excuse me, what do you mean a car? Fuck do you mean a car?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's just like,
Also, what happened at the end with Dr. Psycho? I can't remember.
he's in Narcom.
Oh yeah.
Literally, the last thing we see of Doctor Psycho is that, um, you know, so the second to last episode ends where he passes out now that he revealed to the entire city of Gotham that Harley and Ivy slept together in visual detail of what happened.
Quite quite visual.
Like, bro, it was just free porn. It
Yeah.
was free porn. Like anyone who's just a regular dude who just happened to look up at the sky and saw that is just like, well, and just unzipped immediately. And don't tell me that they didn't, because you know for a fact they did.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Like it's just like, oh well, I know what I'm doing right now. Oh my god. But yo. Yo. I I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with his character next, because he started out as like, all right, he's a big time villain. Then I love how in this world villains suffer the same, or or are put through the same social standards that people are in our world.
You mean like when Dr. Psycho's said the C word on
Yeah,
camera?
to Wonder Woman, and then everybody's like, "Yo," like even
Bro,
the
it was
villain
so
world was like, "Yo,
bro,
what are you
the
doing?"
bird stopped flying in midair. The bird stopped flying. The earth stopped revolving.
So I was like, I was shocked to see that, because I was like, "But you're villains. Why do you care? You're evil." And then they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, not that evil.
we're not we're not cavemen.
We're not cavemen. Come on, like this is 2019/2020. Okay,
It was
we're trying to strive for equality out here."
yo, it was just oh my oh, how about this season going with just because not only was it just like the main character, like the main like trio of Kite Man, Harley, and Ivy that grew, but like going back to Ken Shark, yo, his past, we find out he's actually a prince.
The name King Shark is not it's not a hyperbole.
It's not.
He's royalty.
I'm like, what? You got him. What do you call it? Yo, Frank the plant.
Frank Frank is just funny. Not that he
Yo,
changed much, he's just
Frank got
funny.
locked. Frank got locked in a van full of beautiful flowers, and the last we heard of him was, "It's pollinating season."
It's
I'm
fucking
like,
hilarious.
oh no,
Oh my god,
yo,
beautiful.
yo,
I don't
but
know how Frank gets around, man.
he hops.
Across the city?
Well, he has a friend, the druggy friend who drives him places.
That friend doesn't even think he's real.
Yo, you right? Well,
He thinks
mm,
he's a hallucination.
it's wild. Well, there's Ivy. Like, okay, so can we also address the fact that Frank, on Ivy's orders, ate Condiment King and his fiance?
Can we go like? Can we talk about the fact that like Ivy's willing to murder for love?
That's heartwarming. That's heartwarming.
That was really heartwarming. I was like, damn, Ivy's really trying. I respect it. Like, it's not gonna work because like you don't really love him, but I respect the effort.
I respect the attempt. You know, like you tried. You tried and you put the work in. Oh man. And then what do you call who else was Yo, Riddler? Buff Riddler?
Oh, when they try, that was hilarious. So like Riddler kind of flexed on like everyone. Um,
It's like, yo, you
what's
see
it
these
called?
calves?
He flexed on everyone to the fact that he was like, okay, I'm trapped here, but you know, this isn't bad. I'm here on purpose. And they were like, what do you mean? You're trapped. You can't escape. And then he was immediately escaped, like mid sentence. And then he just went right back in. He was just like, no, you guys give me 3 square meals and I'm getting buff, so why not?
Oh man, it's like why wouldn't I stay here? Like it's 3 square meals a day. I'm getting all this workout. Like what? Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. But and then I'm trying to think. Oh, um, so this is more of it speaks to my age and you know how I'm the oldest in our group, not counting our buddy Delroy. Uh, but bro, when Sai was like, "Oh, you need the magnetic to make this device. You need the magnetic coating of a floppy disk," and I'm like, "Excuse me, like the particle something of a VHS. What?" And like the something from an 8 track. All right, now you're bullshitting.
It was ridiculous. It's funny because who was he talking to at the time? Was it?
Kite Man and Harley when
Yeah,
they
it's
plugged
like
into
okay.
the TV.
Yeah, it's like okay, you need to stop brainwashing. All right, no problem. We dealt with this back in the war. It's very simple, everyday household items that you can attain easily. And then he spits out outdated technology that hasn't been around for like 30 years.
And it's
And I'm
like,
just
what if we don't have access at all? Then it's gonna take some elbow grease. Then I was
Oh,
like, oh no, oh no. But I was just like, oh man, Sai, you make me feel old. Like, cause I can only imagine that there's someone watching that show, right? And when they said a floppy disk, they're like, the fuck's a floppy disk? And if someone explains to them, like, oh, you mean, oh, so you 3D printed a save icon? No.
I that saddens me that that's an actual response that people would have. Oh my
Uh,
god.
like I understand not knowing 8 tracks. Cool, you know, like
I get it.
that's you
8
know that's
tracks,
cool.
I feel you. That's like even before that time. Like
Yeah. VHS, I can get that too.
mm,
Let's be real here. Like we started going to DVDs what, like late 90s to 2000? I'm pretty sure like in the
early
90s.
2000s,
I was gonna say I
I
feel
want
like
to
we
say.
already had DVDs like in the late 90s. I want to say, but I could be wrong.
We had CDs,
Mm.
not
I know we had
DVDs.
CDs.
Not
Nah.
DVDs.
Word?
Maybe like 99
Nah,
we had a D.
97.
Oh yeah?
97 DVDs were first released in 97.
Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
so see like even by 2000, even if someone was born in 2000, by that time they've only known DVDs at that point probably. So I can
Fair.
understand that. I can understand no VHS. But it's like I feel like a floppy disk is just like you see it all the time. I feel like at some point you wonder what is the save icon? Like why does it look like that? You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe, but like, all
I'm
right,
I'm
by the same vein, right? If we had DVDs by 97, floppy disks were already out.
They weren't though. Like so we had CDs, right?
Mm.
But like, especially for like schools still like if you were like in middle school, high school, they still told you to bring like a floppy disk because computers still had floppy disk drives and like to save your work and shit.
I mean, to be fair, Herbert, you went to high school in like the 70s.
Yo,
Like,
my guy. First off, I want to make it clear to everyone. He means the literal 70s, not 1970s, just 70s. I'll make that clear to everybody. That's number one. Number two, fuck you. How about that?
But I do
Um,
remember bringing in. I mean, high school, I didn't have CDs. It was USBs at that time.
well,
By the
yeah.
by,
So it
by
was weird.
then,
I never had CDs. Like, as far as like my schooling went in terms of like what I need to bring in. I went straight from floppy disk to USB. I never had to like bring a CD into class one day. You know what I mean?
that's fair. That's because nobody had a burner.
Yeah.
Like nobody had like CD or DVD burners. Like, well, some people did, and those people would like make the bootleg movies and sell them,
With
and it was like
LimeWire.
lit with LimeWire. But
LimeWire was always a gamble. It's like because you're a kid, you haven't really learned about coding yet, so you go into LimeWire, you're like, all right, is this what I actually want, or is this a virus?
you know how many times you know how many times you were using LimeWire and you got the Bill Clinton like speech where like he was just like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes.
That that was everywhere. I was like, why?
Yo,
I
oh my god, it
said, what are
was
you guys do? What is this?
bro, it was so good. It was so good. Oh man, but getting sidetracked here.
What were you
um,
talking about? Right,
uh,
Psy. That's why.
Sigh, sigh. We're going back in time because of freaking Sigh. Anyway, Sigh, yes. This man became like the hidden gem of the show. You guys like, oh, I'm a bust open that force field. How? Because I'm a bomb. Aren't you a car? I'm also a bomb. What?
I'm also a bomb.
Like, how did the government put that much shit into your body?
I mean, it's the government. They'll find a way.
They have the funds.
Yo, can we talk about Gordon for a second?
Gordon? No.
So,
Gordon. Where do I start with Gordon?
so Gordon is usually like great. Like he's usually like a beast cop. This show, they I don't know if they like
They
I mean they
nerfed him.
disrespected Gordon. They did him dirty. They
They
nerfed
really
him
did
like
him dirty.
OD.
Like, oh my god. Gordon's always been like this amazing cop, amazing commissioner. Bro, again, that video. It's been years since I fought a Green Beret. Better give him a handicap and hands the dude a bat. Like, what?
So yeah, normally Gordon is just a beast. But here, I mean, he's how would I describe him?
He sucks.
He sucks. Yeah, he's pathetic.
he he's not a good cop at all by any means.
No, no.
Like, he's
But
terrible at his
when
job.
when he like buckled down, he got some work done. Like when all of Gotham was like being like overrun with parademons,
True.
he
True.
he like busted out the troops. He like fought hard.
It's like, yo, we in there.
We in there. Barbara did most of the work.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, no contest.
So can I ask you a question? What happened to Damien? He was in season one. Batman was gone. Where did he go? Like he was just gone. Like he
uh
didn't do anything.
all right. So what happened to Damien? That's a great question, Lens. What happened to Damien? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that like he was grounded.
Grounded.
Yes,
Really?
yes. So because Batman was like, "Yo, if I can't go out, you can't go out. You're grounded."
Mm,
That's my guess. I don't know, man. I'm making shit up here.
fair. I'll accept it. He was grounded. Couldn't do anything because Batman said so.
Either that or Alfred, whichever you believe more.
Oh, that's too. And he showed up for like a scene. He dressed up as Batman because he was like, "Father's gone. I need to protect the city."
It's true. It's true. Father's incapacitated. I'll protect the city. Damien, go home. You're grounded.
Oh
Like,
man. So I also didn't know how like deep into the whole like DC universe they were gonna get.
hmm
Because I guess my expectations for this show were still rooted in my past experiences. So like
right.
with when we were watching like the Arrowverse shows, Arrow and like Flash and all those stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
there's a limit to how deep into the like lore of like the DC universe we get, and how there's a limit to how much intersectioning happens.
hmm
But with Harley, they were like, okay, cool, the Batman gallery. Then like I saw Lex Luthor. I was like, oh, Lex, okay. Then like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. I was like, oh, like, all right, we actually have Green Lantern. Oh, all right, Darkseid. What is happening? I was like, how many people are we gonna pull out of this hat, man? Like, it's wild. But I
it's
appreciate
so
it.
good. It's
I
so
appreciate it so much.
and then like uh is yo Dark Side though? Can we take a minute to think about Dark Side? How like it was just what got me is his last scene where like and it's like you have proven more formidable than I expected. Here, at your word, I shall send my parademons to conquer the planets for you to rule. And it's like, thanks, I don't want it. And it's just like, Dark Side is leaving. It just walked out. I'm like, why?
He's just
when
like I don't get what's happening. I'm gone.
oh my god, it's so good. So good. But it's just there's so many good characters in this show. And they're just written so well.
So honestly, like DC Universe, you keep this up. I just think that they should give way more effort to their animation studios, man. Because like whenever they make something, they hit it out the park. Like
I don't think there's been a in recent memory that I can think of any animated series or movies that DC has made that I didn't like.
they're batting 1,000. They're batting 1,000.
Like
Like
I don't
Young Justice,
Yours
fire.
is just fire.
Harley Quinn's
Uh
fire. All the previous like Apocalypse War, fire.
oh my
From
god, that was
Flash
savage. That was
oh my
savage.
goodness. From Flashpoint, because that was the beginning of the new like wave of like movies. From
Quote unquote new
Flashpoint,
52, yeah.
yeah, from Flashpoint on, fire.
Bro, they were all good. They literally were
Even
all
before
good.
then, like Under the Red Hood, like that was oh my
Under the
goodness.
Red Hood was so good. Oh my god. Just and it like Under the Red Hood just to go with the animation portion, it stuck with me because of how Jason was just like, listen, I'm not talking about killing Two Face or Penguin or any of them. Just this fucker. Just kill this one guy.
Joker. Him. He took me away from you.
Oh my, and that hurt. That hurt me a bit when he's like, he took me away
Word.
from you, and I'm like,
I was like,
oh.
You're right though. You're right though. I can't be like he's right though. Like like when I thought before I was like, all right, he's going crazy, he's killing all these people. He's like, no, 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 I'm tight because you didn't avenge me. Like I thought, like you were basically my dad. Like, come on, this guy, this one guy. That's all I needed, and you didn't do it.
And I'm just like,
Hurts.
uh...
It's emotional.
if I were Jason, I would have just killed him.
Mm.
Joker, like
Also,
when Batman walked away and he's just like telling him to decide, I would have been like, all right, well, fuck it, and just shot Joker. Take me to jail,
like,
Batman. Take me to jail.
damn, damn.
But
Also,
yeah.
speaking of like dramatic Batman scenes with his sons in Apocalypse War, he had another one with Damian.
You mean when Damien reached out to him as
Word,
he was dying?
word. I remember when Damian first showed up, and we were all like, "Yo, this guy is whack.
Mhm.
This guy is garbage."
He's like, yo, fuck this kid.
But then he grew, and honestly, I love Damian now.
Yo, no, I love Damien too. But when I first met him, he'd be like, I'm like, who the fuck is you? I'm Batman's son. Bitch, get in line. He got like 3 others.
Word.
No, no, no. I'm his actual son. So are they. His biological son. All right, you got me there, but I don't give a fuck about you.
Word. He's like, I'm the greatest. I've been trained by assassins since like I was a child. I'm like, and everybody's like, okay,
No, wasn't it?
okay, and
Didn't I don't know if it was like in like Young Justice or something. Didn't I feel like at one point Dick was like, yeah, and I was trained by Batman, who beat Ra's al Ghul all the time. Like,
I don't remember that exchange. I remember him actually fighting Damien.
I remember him
It was one
saying
of the movies.
I remember him saying that like Damien saying that like he was trained by Ra's al Ghul, and like one of the Robins was like, yeah, and who did he lose? Like basically said, who did he always lose to? I then.
X. X.
It's just like, all right, cool. I was trained by the best, and I was trained by the guy who beat the best. So that means I'm better. Eat a dick.
Fuck off, Damien.
Oh man. But yeah, no. Damien and Harley Quinn was also nerfed. I'm throw that out
he
there.
he was hilarious because he played the crowd.
Bro, he came in on a. I use this term loosely because I still don't like the name for them. On a hoverboard.
He really did. Oh my god.
He's like, I'm a sweet potato pie. Oh my god, I hate you, Damien. I hate this version of you. Oh god, you're so annoying.
It was very annoying, but it was funny.
Harley Quinn's my nemesis. What?
And everybody's like, "Oh,
Oh. So ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And then I don't know, man. It was just ugh, such a good show. Batman
yo,
was
Joker's a family man now.
yo, he is.
He went home to be a family man."
Oh my god, he took Giles' advice. Fucking Giles home to go home and be a family. I was like, I bet.
I
Yo,
never thought I'd see the day.
bro, he was just like, it's the fact that he was just like, yo, honestly, I love her. She's crazy, but I love her brand of crazy. Let's get this. I'm a family man now.
I'm a family man. That's it. It's like, what? None of those moments meant anything to you? And he was like, I do like those kids.
Bro, and what got me was that like his last line is as Ivy and Harley are fighting in the yard, you see him inside the house looking through the window watching them, having a cup of coffee, and he's like to his wife, "Hey, so are you feeling Thai or?" I was like, I don't care about this shit over here. Like, I'm more worried about what I'm having for dinner right now. We getting Thai or what? Get some pad Thai? Uh,
Crazy.
oh,
Like,
pad Thai sounds good right now.
I'm interested in what's gonna happen in season 3 because like so many characters have changed. I don't know the dynamic anymore. Like all the rules are thrown out the window. I'm hoping Kite Man comes back as the main season's villain. Uh,
Yo.
as the main villain for the season. Yeah, that'd be good.
But like, I don't want him to be like, I'm gonna kill Harley Quinn and Ivy. No, 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 no. I want him to be the main villain. That's just like his master plan is just to like inconvenience their lives.
Word. He's like, no, I don't want you dead. It just, it's gonna make shit like annoying for you.
I'm just why? I'm just being petty. I'm salty. Like,
I'm salty. I'm a villain. I'm evil. What do you expect?
why do you think? Why do you think I don't wash my hands? Because I'm evil. Like,
Oh my god.
Jesus. No, but I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, somehow I feel like for season 3, at this point, I don't want it, but I feel like it's gonna happen. That something they just got together, Harley and Ivy, right? Something's gonna happen in the middle of the season where they like break up and are just friends again, and then they start seeing other people, and then like they might try to actually make it that their relationship is actually on and off. Like every once in a while, when they're both single, they'll like sleep with each other for funsies and stuff, but like they're never actually in a relationship, and then like they still date other people, kind of thing, you know?
Who?
Hmm?
Who?
Harley and Ivy. Like, sure, they admit they love each other, but even in the comics where like they care about each other, they're not really like together. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, like, I feel like this was more definitive. I'm not expecting them to get married next season, but I feel like this was a little more definitive than just like a polygamous, no, an open-ended relationship.
No, I feel you, but I feel like they're just gonna do it. They'll do it to like appease the fans, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Like I'm not against it. I'm not.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Like the second season proved that they are not here to appease the fans. They're here to tell a story. Like
I don't
they
know,
even had
man.
the episode where they came at the fandom.
It's true. They did come at the fandom in that one episode.
They came at they came at specifically the toxic section of the fandom, but like they came at them.
Bro, it's like, oh, this is the Harley Quinn. It's like, oh, what? Let's see what the newest episode is. Oh, an episode that Harley's not in this episode because Batman. All right, fine. We'll watch the first 10 minutes. But if it's bullshit, we're watching something else.
I love how the dude on his shirt said "release the Snyder cut."
Yes.
I I thought that was like I thought that was just like a in your face was like, "Hi, you want us to release a Snyder cut? Fuck you, we're not gonna do it." And then they're gonna release a Snyder cut. So I was like, "Oh, well, then
Yeah.
never mind." You
Seems
got
like
it.
I'll watch the Snyder cut because I really want it to be good.
Same. But here's
Uh,
the thing. I don't know. Like, I watched Justice League. I don't know how much a cut can fix. You know, how much can one cut really fix?
I'm still not gonna like Flash.
Where
Still not gonna
Ezra
like.
Miller is a garbage Flash.
Nothing against him, just not a Flash. Now, if they just gave my man Grant Gustin the role, would be fine. But
Oh, he'd be amazing. Like what?
he is Flash. He is
he
Barry
would
Allen.
he would have stole the whole movie. Like
Oh man.
honestly, I don't need Ben Affleck Batman. Just put my boy Stephen Amell as Oliver Queen in the Justice League. We can run this show. We got it.
Bro, remember when like someone made that poster for Crisis on Infinite Earths, and what they did was they had like basically the top half was like the Justice League poster, but then they had like a pool of water at the bottom, and the reflection was the Arrowverse, like Justice League, and I was just like, yo, that'd be so. I would pay so much money to see that.
I'd pay money for that. Oh my god. Oh
Yo,
my goodness.
it would be so good.
If that was the crisis, oh my. Well, you could do Crisis on Two Earths. That's a whole storyline.
Yeah, yeah, bro, I'd watch the hell out of that. I'd watch that probably like twice just to just to give Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin more money.
Yo, they fucking did it. They actually those crazy bastards. They
It's
made the perfect crossover.
bro, like we've already discussed this before, but Arrowverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths, bro, it gave me everything I wanted. Literally gave me everything I wanted. So,
It was amazing.
some things obviously could have been handled better, and I
Yeah.
and like like Oliver's first death.
Oliver's
Um,
first death could have been handled better.
yeah.
Uh, Barry's quote unquote like prophecy could have been handled better.
So I could have handled better, but the one thing I did love about that is just when Barry, quote unquote, was running towards his death. We had that flashback to the OG Flash show,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, oof, oof, this is beautiful, bro. They got so many people for this cross. All right, no, we're getting started. I don't want to. I don't want to go into this. But this is a whole other discussion. This is ours. This is a whole other talk. Not doing this right now.
That's a whole other talk. That's fair.
Oh man, but yeah.
I think
So
I think that wraps it up for Harley. What else
yeah,
you got? You got anything else?
uh, give us Young Justice season 3, you cowards.
You season 4.
Rewrite season 4, you cowards.
It's coming. It's coming. No worries. I believe they got the
uh,
money now.
they do have the money now. Oh man, I'm so happy. But all right, yeah, no, that should be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing us go back and forth. We're hoping that maybe by some miracle within the next, I don't know, year, we get a vaccine to this shit so we can start recording again, like with
Honestly,
video, and you guys can see our faces, and then like we'll be swole as shit.
we will be swole. I promise. By the next time that we appear on camera again, Herbert will be hella swole.
What me? What about you?
I'm already halfway there.
Oh my god! At the very least, I will be losing this gut. I need to lose this gut already.
I feel you, dude. That's that quarantine gut.
Nah. This gut's already been here pre-quarantine. The quarantine's just maintaining the gut.
Nobody needs to know that.
And on that note, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to check out the Metropolis as always. You know, the VCR and the arcade, all that shit. Illuminati, they all got some good stuff going on. We'll probably do some crossovers with them down the road whenever our interests intertwine. Whenever there's a crisis on Infinite Podcasts. Uh, so yeah, follow. You can check us out every Friday at 7 p.m. for our weekly game stream. As mentioned last week, we're not our games is more going to be more just us gaming and just shooting the shit. So just entertain you guys with some gameplay because it's getting more and more difficult playing a game and having a in-depth conversation like this at the same time. So that being said, don't forget to check us out on that. And you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. For me, it's Simon68_TKE. All one word, all lowercase.
For me, it's Instagram and Twitter. LensJ, LEHNSJ.
And then,
Nice and simple.
yeah, he keeps it simple. I don't. Uh, that being said, have a good one and keep it real, boys and girls.
See you, everybody.